Hi everyone, this video is for my 8th grade science unit as you continue your look at Punnett squares and genetics. This video is going to demonstrate how you set up a Punnett square given a written description of the problem. The problem that we are going to be looking at reads, predict the genotype and phenotype outcome of the offspring of a cross between two heterozygous tall peat plants. So the first word that we need to look at here to figure out what we need to do is the word heterozygous here. A heterozygous cross is going to mean that the trait has the dominant and the recessive attached to it. So for this case, T meaning tall, big T meaning tall, little t meaning short, we're going to have a big T, little t for each of these. I'm going to set up my Punnett square. I'm going to put my first trait up here, big T, little t, and my second trait on the left-hand side, big T, little t. The next step for this problem is going to be actually crossing those letters together. I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner with my big T cross. I bring them over. I'm going to move on to this cross. I'm going to bring over my big T and then bring down my little t. It's important to always list the dominant trait first. If you have a cross with a dominant and a recessive trait here, you always want to list the uppercase letter first. Next, I'm going to move on to the bottom left square. I'm going to bring down my big T and bring over my little t. And then the bottom right square, I'm going to bring over my little t and bring down my other little t. Now we need to analyze this Punnett square to figure out our genotype percent and our phenotype percent. Again, genotype being the actual genetic makeup, phenotype being what is shown, so what that trait actually looks like. I'm going to come over here. For our genotype, we have big T, we have two big T, little t crosses and one little t cross. So I'm going to write all three of those. My big T, big T, little t, and little t. We need to now figure out the percent chance of those happening. We have 4 different outcomes here. The first outcome being big T, and we only have one of those. So it's going to be 1 out of 4 chance. And 1/4 is equivalent to 25%. I'm then going to look at my next genotype, which is big T, little t, and I have 2 out of 4 for that. And 2 out of 4 is going to be equivalent to the percentage of 50%. So there's a 50% chance of having a heterozygous dominant tall pea plant. The last trait we need to look at here is little t, which is 1 in 4, which is going to be equivalent to 25%. Now we move on to our phenotype, which again is what is actually shown. So we only have 2 options here, a tall pea plant or a short pea plant. So I'm going to do tall first and then short second. For my tall trait here, it is any time we have the dominant trait present. So we have 3 out of our 4 options here that are going to have the dominant trait. So 3 out of 4, which is going to be equivalent to 75%. Which leaves us with little t being 1 out of 4, which is going to be our short outcome, which is 1 out of 4 chance, which is equivalent to 25%. Okay, this is the fully completed problem. So for any problem you have that is asking you to make a Punnett square out of this type of cross, this is what is expected for that problem.